I want to talk about some two new words, I think, which most of us understand in some sense or the other, but what happens is that we have a tendency to not realize the importance of these two words. So, I will briefly go about telling a story about myself. I think I go back to 1996. I went back to my first stint in business. So, I was doing distribution of office automation, which was Rico automation business, photocopiers. It so happened the end of the year I was on the best seller in the country. So, as usual, all distributors have companies take the distributors and dealers to a place. So, we were taken to Thailand and en route to Thailand, which was via Calcutta. So, I was there, and in Calcutta I happened to call Mr. Bhagat, who was my zonal accountant in my previous job. So, when I was talking to him and telling him that I am en route to Thailand and for achieving the goals and targets, and hi Kuldeep, hi Nita. So, hi Shiv. So, while I was looking at the going through and talking to him, he said, why don't you drop into office while returning? I said, I'm returning on so and so date, you can come in and drop at office. So, went to Thailand and came back to Calcutta, and Calcutta I went to the Chevrolet's office and met my ex-boss here and there who were there. So, it was always good to meet your old colleagues, old boss, and sometimes it's nice to see that they still love you and happy to meet you. So, had that meeting and then went back to Guwahati to go on doing my business entrepreneurship, which was my stint at the time. So, after 2 days I get a call from Bhagat. He asks me, would you be interested in coming back to job in Chevrolet? And because there was a zonal manager post vacant, and as I had left 2.5 years, we will give you a promotion and a salary, because the salaries has gone up substantially than what you were earning when you left this job. I said, okay, let me think. Then he said, he put me to my bosses, and as usual they gave me an offer. It was such a mafia offer. Then what is a mafia offer? Mafia gives an offer, if you don't take it, they shoot you. So, it's something so attractive. So, I decided they took the option of going back to what I was doing. Actually, in my stint in entrepreneurship, what was happening is I was not growing as an individual. Although I was earning money, I was making money, but personally, at my personal level, I felt somewhere that my growth was getting impacted. So, this offer came in interesting, and I thought, let me go back and rejoin. So, I took a decision that in 1 month's time I will hand over everything and move on to the job. So, I moved back as zonal manager east for the consumer product division. Hi Surya, nice seeing you on this again. So, it was a Kairos moment, a decisive and opportune moment. It is a life-changing event, see, you went to do entrepreneurship, now suddenly someone tells you out of nowhere, gives you an offer, and then you decide to come back. This can be true for anyone at any situation. And with the COVID impacting so much of our lives today, you cannot really say, I wouldn't have a job. Tomorrow suddenly company says that we are on a downsizing spree, so maybe you will have to find something else, or even your salaries you were thinking that by April you will get an increment because you've done brilliantly during the year, and what happens in March? COVID strikes. And not only strikes, it strikes very hard and takes 30% or 40% of your salary. So, in fact, you have gone back behind by 3 years in terms of your income. And this is not going to change dramatically, and once corporate sector comes into the groove that people can adjust with lower salaries, they really stick on to that. It is very rarely they come back to original, or very few companies like Asian Paints who have a tendency of giving increment even in this time. So it is a Kairos moment for many of the individual, and one needs to really look at skill sets, what they have to do and what they need to do. Any Kairos moment is never an easy moment. So what is Kairos and Chronos? Let me explain to you the Kairos and Chronos. Just a minute. Chronos, both Kairos and Chronos are Greek words. So Greek word Chronos refers to time, chronological and sequential time. So it is about the time you take to do something. And in Greek mythology, it is a wise man who has a long beard, and similar to the father time. Kairos is also an ancient Greek word which means whether the opportunity is right and opportune. It means taking advantage of that moment to deliver a particular message. Kairos signifies a period. So a lot of launches happen at a particular time. If you want to launch during the season. If you launch it in summers, then usually people will not buy. We will overcome this barrier of the connection. Hi Prashant, hi Monica. So Chronos is quantitative, whereas Kairos is qualitative. It's all about the moment. So, and this strikes our lives at every moment, actually in life. A simple example I can give you is about our product manager. The Savlon product manager was selling hand wash, which he was doing maybe around 30 to 40 lakhs in a month. So he was in a size scale of 20,000 crores business, a Savlon business of doing 30 lakhs in a month, Savlon hand wash. He was a low priority business. I mean, a new person given a role to grow up in life. Suddenly, Corona strikes, and you know what the sales of hand wash went up? It went up 40 to 50 times. So almost the brand overnight translated to become a 100 crore business. We don't know how long it will go, but people have started using Savlon into their homes. Otherwise, it would have taken years for marketing team to work out a process where they would have really made this happen. It's an opportune, it was a Kairos moment for the product manager, and he struck big. And that is what will make him bigger over time, and I think that is not going to change. So it is like true for any career. Career is like Chronos. You over 30 years, if you work in a company, it is like a marathon. Marathon is Chronos. It's time. It's horizontal. And whereas lot of series of small sprints, some years you will do extremely well and get recognition. That is Kairos moment. That's what makes you grow up in life. Those promotional moments, your boss recognizes you, company recognizes. Those are Kairos moments, and that's what keeps you going in any system. So Chronos and Kairos can strike anyone, anytime. So in this, how do you go about doing business? Today, in this world where we have digital marketing, there's ways how technology is also making Chronos being used at you and Kairos being used at you. You can time your mails which is targeted to you to buy something. You normally start seeing your email at 10 o'clock. The mails are so timed, it reaches you at 10.01 minute. It strikes your mailbox. Happens first day, you are thinking that's the first mail you see. Next day again, the third day again strikes you at 10. Again it strikes you at 10:01. So you start getting struck by the messages which is coming in at the moment when you open your mailbox. What that does to you? It convinces they think to understand you, because they of course study you, what do you like. So your mail is also messaged in such a way that it impacts you. So that is also a Chronos time. So today technology is being used to also enable that, and the fifth mail which comes to you triggers maybe or creates an interest in the product. So Chronos and Kairos can really strike you anytime, whether it is done through technology or in today in real life. It is the Chronos and Kairos. So in businesses it is very, very important. There are a lot of brands in this world which have to wait long Chronos and don't achieve success, and suddenly on maybe 7th year is taking off. Today, had anyone had a business which was antibacterial, like the Henko, we had made antibacterial neem. Today, at this moment when COVID is happening, anyone would buy a detergent which is antibacterial in nature because it helps in killing bacteria, all other things. So people will start buying that product, will be more prone to buying. So it takes time, and suddenly the market takes off. So many brands are built through this Chronos moment. You have to sustain over a period of time, and suddenly you have a Kairos moment when it takes off like nobody, like a hockey stick curve, and that's how you become big. So a lot of brands in this world become successful. Chronos and Kairos strikes in everyone's life. So if you think through your own moments in life, you will find there are moments where you had to really wait for your promotion, and suddenly you will find there were 2 great years, and you find that you really honored or got really huge increment, got really success. So be careful and be aware of the Chronos and Kairos striking you. Thank you so much for listening to me. Life is amazing, and take care of your Chronos and Kairos. Thank you so much.